Hey guys, Dynasty Warrior 6 here,
Camman Jason.
and we're doing the 300 subs question and answer video. We got a lot of questions, and we're each gonna answer the questions because some questions were meant for Jason, some were meant for some were meant for me. So I'll read the question and I'll answer first, and then Jason will give his answer, and we'll just go from there. And we'll answer everyone's question, and we'll be sure to say who asked the question and everything like that. And I can't thank you guys enough, though, for responding to this and asking questions and everything like that. So the first question, though, comes from these 5 questions I'm going to read off are all from Asian Sleepy. And the first one is, what is your favorite Dynasty Warriors game? And my personal favorite is, I had to say Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires, actually. I love that game. It was very fun. It was very interesting, and it had a lot of stuff going on with it.
I'm going to have to say the Dynasty Warriors Gundam games. I love anything Gundam. It's a great storyline. It's really addictive.
And then, how many total video games do you think you own in your collection? I think I've got about, oh my gosh, between 600 to 700. I'm leaning more towards the 7 mark area, but I could definitely be in between easily.
With me, I think it's about the same because I have tons of games boxed at my parents' house also. This is a lot of my collection over here, yes, but I have tons elsewhere.
And who is your favorite character from the Dynasty Warriors series? My favorite character from the Dynasty Warriors series has to be Xiahou Dun. He's the guy with the eye patch. He's always fighting on the Wei side. And he's just a really cool character, very balanced. He's easily to control in duels. A fun guy.
Who's the guy with the little beating sticks?
That's Sun Ce.
I like him.
Yeah,
that guy's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. Next up is, how did you find out about the gaming community on YouTube? It was mostly through, for me, it was mostly through Portland Retro Gaming Expo videos. I used to watch those like crazy. I used to even re-watch them just for the fun of it. I watched the 2010 ones, and that just really sparked my interest into the whole retro gaming again.
I totally agree with that. The Portland Retro Gaming Expo, all the footage got us really hyped, and we were really excited to make the videos right after we had our first experience here in Portland.
And then the last question from Asian Sleepy is, what are your thoughts on the current trends in gaming? My current thoughts on the trends in gaming are an overabundance of high-definition graphics with no actual story or plot, and a little bit too much of the first-person shooters. I think everyone's starting to go that way and try to be a Halo knockoff a little bit. Some people are going to say no. Some people are going to say, well, that's just how that's just the way it is because Xbox Live. But I don't know. I think we need to get back into the old days of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, not 3 maybe. 3's got too many of that bouncing crap thing. 2 is more fun. I think a better plot back then.
Bring on more role-playing games with good storylines. I mean, everything is short, and everything's based off graphics nowadays. They don't pay attention to the storyboard, and it just goes downhill.
Definitely. What kind of music do you... Oh, this comes from the Game Man Dan. What kind of music do you and Jason listen to? I listen to rock, alternative, rap, and electronica, techno, if you want to call it, anything like that. I listen to anything good. I even like anime music from, animes like Trigun and stuff. But anything except country or western. I'm not a fan of either of those.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. As long as it's not country, I'm pretty much good to anything. But my favorite's going to have to be rap and hip-hop, of course. I got the G-Unit tattoo. Huge fan of 50. So...
Alright, and the next question comes from Lice Company. He asks, what are your impressions of Metal Gear Solid Rising? And I have actually seen trailers for this, and I was very surprised at Raiden. It looks really good. It looks a little Dynasty Warriors. That's what shocked me, because it was very hack and slash. Very fast-paced. He's running across things very quickly. I'm really interested to play it and see what it's about.
It looks good. I wouldn't mind trying to get in my collection, or at least playing it.
Definitely. I want it in my collection. Here, and then these questions come from the I can't say it right now.
The Completionist.
Thank you. What do you consider your best game with regards to your own personal skill? It's probably a toss-up for me between Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, because I'm actually really good at that game, honestly, and Dragon Age, the original one, the first one, Origins. I'm really good at that one. Even Jason's seen me play that. I can burn through the story in 3 or 4 days easily.
Mine's of course Mortal Kombat. I'm unbeatable.
On the new one.
Yeah.
Smoke. I hate you. All right, and the next one from the complete. We know who it is. The completionist. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? I actually am a fan of the Tillamook flavor chocolate peanut butter. I know it's really rich, but I am a fan of that one. I would eat that all day if I could but it's really rich.
Mine, of course, has to be a cookie dough. I'm addicted.
And what is the best birthday gift you ever have gotten? I would say that the best birthday gift I ever received was when I was little and my mom picked up, and she got 2 games with it, and the whole bundle deal came with everything it just came out to was Nintendo 64. My mom got it for everybody, but it was like near my birthday at the time, so it kind of went towards me a little bit. And I got Diddy Kong Racing and I think Super Mario 64 as well, all boxed and complete. Of course, like an idiot, I threw away the boxes when I was young.
Sega Genesis Model 2 when I was little. That was my favorite one.
And what do you think your favorite video game-based film is? My favorite video game-based film has got to be probably, I don't know. I've watched a lot of them, and they're not all my favorites, or they don't really hit my radar. I would have to say between Resident Evil or Doom, I'd probably go with Resident Evil a little bit more, just because it is a little bit more zombie-esque, and that's kind of the fad right now.
I would have to agree with that too. But if it was an animated movie, I'd go with Advent Children.
Oh, yeah, I should have done that. Oh crap, yeah, Advent Children. Yeah, what he said. Damn it, why didn't you say that beforehand? Okay, and do you enjoy slasher movies? And if you do, I do actually. I think we both do.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, and if you do, could you recommend one everyone should see? I really like. Okay, slasher films. I'm more of a suspense guy, but slasher films are what, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Yeah,
that's a good slasher. If you're gonna watch Texas Chainsaw, you got to go with the original, old, scary. I mean, they brought terror.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Nowadays, it's all about special effects and digital crap. It's not that great.
Though I will recommend one movie that actually is really suspenseful. It's kind of a slasher, just from the villain's point of view. Is Vacancy.
Oh,
Vacancy
yep.
is freaking intense.
You just watched that the other day.
Yeah, it was freaking. I love that. I love that one. Okay, and then the Retro 98. If you had to go on an island, to an island, and could only play one game, what game would it be? And not just your favorite game, but replay value. Okay, my favorite game is wait, I won't say that just yet, even though everyone knows it. I would have to say for replay value, actually, it would have to be Dragon Age Origins, plus the Awakening and all the DLC content, because that's the only game I could play over and over again and not get bored.
I'd probably have to go with Earthbound. I could play it a million times over and over and just be as content.
Sweet, Earthbound. Randy Jellian, he has a couple questions. That's the next guy up. He asked, what is the most wanted retro game you are dying to get? Actually, the most wanted retro game I'm dying to get is probably Harvest Moon 64. I really want that game. I really want to play it again, and I can't find it for the life of me out in the wild. And everywhere I find it, it's really expensive. So that's definitely what I'm dying to get.
Earthbound and Little Samson.
You choose the rare ones.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a girlfriend or a wife? Neither.
Both.
Ew. What is your ideal woman? I don't know. I never really give much thought to this. Somewhat pretty, dark hair, understanding about my video game problem, my addiction. That would be good.
Kate Upton.
Kate Upton. Ooh.
Enough said.
Yeah. Kate Upton. Yeah. What is your favorite system to collect for? Okay, that's a tough one. My favorite system to collect for, honestly, is probably between the PlayStation and the Sega Genesis, just because they have really cool games to collect for.
Yeah, PlayStation 2 and Sega. I'm on a big PlayStation kick right now. I'm trying to build up my collection, so.
And then the next question is, what is your favorite TV show you watched as a kid? Mine is going to have to be, and I know it's really sad, but it's Power Rangers. The original series, the first, one, with the original cast. Everybody.
And Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, the animated series.
Saw every single episode.
If Chuck Norris had... Oh, wait. And then Mr. Dude 206 asks, if Chuck Norris had a twin, would he be able to beat him in an arm wrestling match? I say yeah, because it's just a twin.
I think that would stop time, and Earth would stop and split in half, and crazy shit would happen.
They'd probably just roundhouse kick each other.
It's true.
Yeah. And then Retro One's Hunter asks, what is the best/rarest video game deal you missed out on? Possibly a Craigslist ad, and you were a little late on, or yeah, this brings up bad memories.
Yes, it does.
Me and a Dr. Reaper Zero, and even Cam and Jason all missed out on a really big deal. There was a Sega CD Saturn 32X, all boxed, all complete, all done, and it had 40, 50,
ton of games. Box complete.
All the boxes were in perfect condition from the photos. Everything was perfect, and the guy wanted only $150 for it, and we missed it by a minute. And it's still the biggest miss we've ever had in our entire career of collecting. And then that was it for Retro Hunter 98. And then Tribes of Folk. I can't ever say his name right. Tribes of Foca. Tribes of California. That's what it is. Yeah, there you go. Question: what do you think of Kid Chameleon? The game for the Genesis. I actually played that game once when I was little, and I actually thought it was a knockoff. I thought it was a knockoff of Mario Brothers. I actually thought that because of the power-ups you get and stuff, and they jump down and they give you new weaponry. I thought it was kind of a knockoff. I don't know what you thought about it.
I've only seen gameplay. I haven't actually played it myself. It looks pretty interesting.
Alrighty, and then we have Cypro. He's got 4 questions. For the rest of your life, only one, sex or games? I'm going to choose games because, you know what? Sex, is this, is like this. You got the rest of the day to fuck off and do nothing. So, because you can't have sex all the time.
You, sir, ask hard questions. And I can answer this one.
Oh, cop out. Alright, fine. What is the best way to hook up a Sega, a NES, and a SNES to an HD TV? Do you recommend S-Video, RGB, or HDMI? I don't think HDMI is really possible. It might be, but I don't know if they have the HD. I don't know if those systems have that ability to use high definition like that. I would honestly go with S-Video, though. I think S-Video definitely gave a really clean picture back in the day. I don't know. What do you?
I'd have to agree. I mean,
S-Video was really good back then. It was one of those things. He also asks, my Super Nintendo plays all my games but a select few. Yoshi Island and Star Fox. I get sound but picture sucks. Is there a way to fix it? My FC Twin plays those games fine though. I would say, have you tried those games on different systems, like different Super Nintendos? You
may just want to just get a new Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Other than that, and how is your retro system set up? Well, they're kind of. I have my main setup where I have my 360, my Dreamcast, my Super Nintendo, and my Sega Genesis. We have a setup out here in the living room with the Sega CD and the Sega Genesis hooked up and stuff like that. We also have the PlayStation 3 out here and the an Xbox 360. They're kind of all over the place.
It's spread out all over the apartment.
Yeah, but it's not set in one area specifically. IV Pep 38. What is your favorite video game series? I'm gonna have to go with Dynasty Warriors for myself, just because I love hack and slash on those series of games.
Favorite game series? Big fan of the Clock Tower series. Big fan of. I was a big fan of the Final Fantasy series, but it went downhill after basically 9. 8 was crap. And 9 was its redemption, and everything else after that just went downhill for me.
Yeah. And then Jacob Rocks 100 asks, "Do you and Can Man Jason play videos, but it's video games together often?" And honestly, I think we can both say this honestly. We don't. We don't play together very often. We actually
Rarely.
Yeah, we've played Halo together. Halo Reach when it came out.
Beat Halo Reach in 4 hours when it first came out.
Yeah, that was an all-nighter.
We played Marvel Ultimate Alliance
together. And we played Mortal Kombat together
Mortal
a few times.
Kombat.
And Ultimate.
Dynasty Warriors Gundam we've played.
That game you should have a co-op player because it's a lot easier to get through. And then the other question he asked was, what's your favorite Kool-Aid flavor if you like Kool-Aid? I like the strawberry one, watermelon kind of. I like the red flavors. I'm not a fan of cherry though.
Wild cherry.
Wow. Oh, sick! Get out of my house.
You get out of my house.
All right, I'll get out later. Gamer Girl Fan 80 asks, "What is your favorite game that you always come back to?" Mine is gonna be Final Fantasy IX. You know, I could go to that game every day, back to it, and just play it, no problem.
River City Ransom for the NES. As much as it gets old, you could always just pop it in, play it.
And then KMD Baby asks, "What are some hidden gem games you have played that we may not have heard about?" One game that I've played that I actually really like, and I would definitely put in my top 5 of favorite games, is a game called Dragon Seed on PlayStation. It plays a lot like Monster Rancher. I think it was really the founding father of that. And it's really a good game. It's rare though now. It's like even just regular copy on eBay is like a $50 game, I think.
Probably some of the Clock Tower games. I mean, a lot of them are hard to find, and if you can, they're a lot of fun. Great survival games, kind of puzzle-like. So if you can find those, I definitely recommend picking it up.
What are some cool sights to see in Oregon, tourist-wise, if someone was to visit? Well, I think, of course, the Japanese gardens are really one. Saturday markets.
Yep, Saturday market.
You should go visit the Oregon Convention Center, Memorial Coliseum, and Rose Garden.
And the smallest park in Oregon.
Yeah, that's funny, on Nato Parkway. Yeah,
it's literally the world's smallest park.
It's a pot and with flowers, and that's it. It's actually legitimate.
The Waterside Park in Portland.
Yeah, that's pretty funny too.
Waterfront.
Forest Park.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, Sarah, thank you.
Shut up.
And then WGH Fanatic asks, "What's your favorite game of all time?" Mine is Final Fantasy IX. I think, just for me, that's just it's it. And I think Jason's is pretty obvious.
Mine is Earthbound. I have the Famicom cart. I'm looking for the original Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Mr. Jami asks, "What is the weirdest things you own in your collection?" The weirdest thing I own in my collection that I'm pretty embarrassed about is the fact that I purchased the High School Musical dance pad for $10. Just shut up! That's probably the weirdest, stupidest thing I own in my collection. What do you think?
I don't know what the weirdest in my collection would be. Do you have any ideas? I don't.
I don't know. You guys.
Here goes a train.
Yeah, train.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Sorry.
So I got the weirdest one out of that. What is your day job? Okay, my day job, actually, surprisingly, is I work for the city of Tualatin in the Parks Maintenance Division. I help maintain parks on a seasonal, I'm a temp, but I've been doing it for the last 3 years now, and it's pretty good.
Merchandising at Macy's.
Yep. And then the next question is, worst game you own, and I mean like the case is beat up or the cart is mangled. Worst game I own that way is probably my Final Fantasy IX original copy I picked up when it first came out. The disc 3 is so scratched up and banged up because I loaned it to a friend and I hate him for it. And it freezes at a moment where you need that movie to go through, and if you don't, it will just freeze, and I can't move the game any further.
My copy of River City Ransom, the label is mangled, but it still plays.
And then Classic Metal Fan 22 asks, what is your favorite band? Mine is a toss-up between the old Sum 41, Linkin Park, old, and that's about it.
Disturbed, Trapped. I could go on, but I won't. AVA. Big shout out to Dr. Reaper Zero on that one for introducing me to it.
Alright, and then the most underrated Nintendo Entertainment System game. I think actually a very underrated game for Nintendo is Rad Racer. It's a racing game and a lot of people don't like it. It did get a sequel, so it does prove its popularity at one point in time. But a lot of people like racing games, and Rad Racer was very, very underrated.
Most underrated.
NES game. Got one in your head?
I was thinking the same thing, honestly.
Rad Racer?
Racer. I mean, a lot of people
Don't like it.
hate the game, but it's actually pretty fun if you play it.
If you play it a lot, you'll actually like it. Most underrated Super Nintendo game. I think that an underrated game that a lot of people don't like on Super Nintendo, and it's kind of funny because I like it a lot, and it's actually fairly valuable, it's like $20, is the Spider-Man Venom Separation Anxiety. A lot of people don't like that game. I don't know why. A lot of people dislike the fighting style. Some say it's slow, some say it's just not very good, but I think it's actually a lot of fun.
I felt that way about Final Fantasy Mystic Force. A lot of people didn't like it, but it's entertaining. Give it a chance.
Yeah. And N64 game. Now, okay, this one's actually funny. I think Jet Force Gemini on 64 is highly, highly underrated. I think that game is very good, and that it did not get the right reviews and the right. I still think it's the original, like Halo. I still think it's the original Halo.
Kind of like Perfect Dark almost. A lot of people didn't like that, but it's actually a great game.
Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people didn't like it because they thought it was way too advanced. Yeah, it was weird. Melky. Has two questions. He says, first one is, how big of nerds do you consider yourselves, nerds in this, on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm going to assume 1 is the lowest and 10 is the highest. I'm going to go with a solid 11. I'm going to go with a solid 11 out of this because, yeah, I'm pretty bad. I like anime, Star Wars, video games, all that crap. So, yeah.
I'll be at a 7.
7? What a cop-out answer. I'm going to say it. And if you ever get your show up on your channel, Geek Time, would you be interested in being a guest on it via Skype? Yeah, I would do it.
Yeah, definitely. Get it going.
Yeah, get it going. We would do it. We'll come on. And then Pug, Pug 41478 asks, what is your favorite system or systems? What is your favorite system or systems? My favorite system or systems, I'm gonna go with systems, the plural. I'm gonna go with Sega Dreamcast is basically almost my number one, but PlayStation 1 is my top. Sega Dreamcast and Super Nintendo.
Sega Dreamcast, Master System, and PS2.
And then, how many games do you think you have in your collection, or a good guess? And we kind of answered that already, but mine's between 600 and 700, and yours is about the same.
About the same.
Yeah. And Crazy Cabano, his is the last questions. He asks, how are you?
Awesome.
Good. Hot. Hot as hell. Were you born in Oregon? No, I was not born in Oregon. I was born in Torrance, California, and I moved up here when I was 5.
Nope, I was born in Sulphur Springs, Texas.
And then, what's the best deal on video games that each of us has gotten? I think my best deal is the Lunar 2 deal that I picked up for $25. That came with system and all that stuff. And then a deal that I picked up with Dr. Reaper Zero that came with a Sega CD and Knuckles Chaotix and a ton of other stuff.
The Odyssey System box and complete for $26. Also, the Breath of Fire 3 for $1.
That was a really good deal. That was a really good deal. And then, what games would we like to collect for, but are really hard to find out in the wild? And I think the hardest one, and I think Jason would agree with this, to find out in the wild ever for really good pricing, and we're almost forced to buy it, the resellers, is Sega Saturn and Sega CD games.
Oh yes.
Every time.
So hard to find.
They're a bitch. We have easier time finding Neo Geo games.
And Game Gear, surprisingly.
Yeah, Game Gear's tough too, but it's amazing. It's amazing. And the last question of all the questions is, what are we most excited about the Portland Retro Gaming Expo? I think it's the fact that we're going to be able to meet the Game Chasers and a lot of other people there, but also the fact that we can add into our collection substantially. Like, I have been like, you know, trying to find Sega Genesis games, like sports titles, and I'm just getting a pain in the ass time of getting them, and everyone wants like $4 or $5 for them, but realistically they're only worth $1 or $2, so, you know, I'm looking forward just to getting some serious hauls of games. I've already got like $300 saved up for the Retro Gaming Expo.
I agree. I'm just meeting the people and just getting more games into the collection, especially my PS2 collection. I want to get that going again.
And also, that's another thing. We're looking forward to meeting some people have expressed interest in meeting us. I know of a couple people who said, "Are you going? Are you going? I want to meet you guys there and stuff." And yeah, we are gonna be there. I've already got my ticket ordered. I just did that today.
Got mine. Miss Sarah got hers.
Miss Sarah got hers. I think Dr. Reaper Zero is gonna get his eventually. I think he's working on it, and our other friend Joel should be getting his. I thought he got his already, but I don't know for certain. But that is about it, guys.
And also,
yeah.
I've been in talks with Shady J from the Game Chasers, so we might be meeting them too at the expo. So I'm gonna get footage of that.
Oh, don't worry, guys. We're gonna get a lot of footage too. We're gonna capture a lot of stuff. We're gonna have what, 2 cameras going?
2 cameras going.
On
Hopefully, we can get some
people.
phones going too.
Yeah, on 2 different people. A lot of photos, a lot of stuff, just a lot of good stuff. So we'll get a lot of stuff done. So that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for subbing, and we can't wait for the Portland Retro. It's 1 month away in, what, 16 days?
Oh yeah, we're getting close.
Yeah, I'm counting down the days, literally. So we will see you guys later, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.